Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Right. My name is Leo X. Today I'm going to talk about my procedural dungeon creative edition. So first, let me show what I have done for creative. Um, at first, let me show the dungeon without the words. Picture. Nothing. This is what I did last week on the dungeon
Mm-hmm.
without nothing, just the floor. And then this week I add the words on it. Uh, can you guys see it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, add the words surrounded by every single room. Message. And when you change the word, change the dungeon, the word can change by the room size. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is how it looks like. Present. So the basic idea is using the binary space partitioning algorithm beyond the code idea. We will have defined space and slice into a smaller space, a minimum size of the room that I want to split the space into. And it will stop when it can't split the space anymore due to the size doesn't allow to. Um, it 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 places the space into smaller space. It creates the meshing space of the room that will generate and connect those rooms with corridors. It
Mm-hmm.
continues splitting those space until it cannot divide anymore. And the structure should work like a trace system, which remembers the parent and child relations. What I mean by the trace system is I make the a picture. This is the
Mm-hmm.
how the trace system worked. We got the root code, which is the one as the parent, and then they divide by two children, um, two children least, and then as it goes to more, the room should divide by three area, and then the more dividing the the children's getting more. At the last, um, until the room cannot divide anymore. This is how the trace system work. The word code is passing room first, and then the rooms are surrounded by the walls. When corridors are added, corridors will be added at the same position as there is the radial word. It will create its own word.
And when you're adding the walls on, is a wall just a single chunk and you've got a bunch of game objects, or are you
Yes,
generating a mesh for the wall as well?
it's single object.
Gotcha. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, single. Um, this is the code before the word added, and then what I have is at for list um of the word into the dungeon creator class as 4 variables. I can show the yeah right here I have the list of the words, and then the game object like word parent, and then I don't know why I can't show the picture here. And in the create mesh method, I add the transfer position of the floor for the words. Maybe I can show better in the words. Yeah, right here. This is how the word comes from and surrounding by the dungeon floor. Also, I need a list for the words. The door list is because of when corridors are added, corridors will be added at the same position, and there's a radio word. If if I don't delete the words to create the doors, it should get stuck at some point, like this point. This entry is how to say, it's stuck. It's stuck by the words. So when you get this area, you can get into the these rooms. So some doors need to delete. I don't know why I can't show the image right in my presentation.
Oh, that is weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it, and I also add my
So I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand from what you're saying. You did fix that problem though, right?
yeah, I fixed that.
Cool, cool.
And then I also add my shoulder graph last time into it, so create something like this. It's just something like that, like a disaster.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but one thing I don't understand is when I created material, it should looks like the fire, but I input the package into this dungeon, it looks different. It's just black. It doesn't fit the color. I don't know what happened with that. Maybe that's
I mean, is
something
that
that I can work on.
emissive or? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe that's something that I can work on next week project on the optimism problem. Alright, I think that'll be all for my presentation. Yep.
So
Yeah.
So I thought that walls were part of that tutorial that you did initially. Like I thought they were just a later part of the same tutorial.
Yeah, oh yeah, I need to show the... And the words created by the Blender.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then add as the game object.
But
right here.
sorry, so
Yes.
if you were just doing more of the tutorial, that doesn't count as creative addition because I mean, it's still more work, but it's not. The requirement for the creative edition is that you make it up yourself. Not so. Um, can you tell us, well, like the parts of this that you did that were just yours?
Yeah, it's um it's not the tutorial. I just learn from get the idea from it, and then I figured out it by myself.
Oh, okay, 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 cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay, great. So, in your post, just make sure you're really clear about the difference between the tutorial and the part that you figured it out yourself. Because and like anybody, if you do that where it's like you did your own thing, but it's kind of similar to what the tutorial was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
just make sure you make it really clear to us what of it is your separate work, because that that's a bunch of our grade depends on it. So
Yeah.
thank you very
No
much
problem.
for letting us know that.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Any questions on that?